Okay, so as a Los Angelino for almost 20 years, I'm going to talk to you about what's actually happening, what it means, and what you can do about it. First of all, here's what Trump is actually doing, okay? He is establishing a pretext for using the Insurrection Act, which grants the president authority to deploy the U.S. military and federalize National Guards in any state to suppress rebellion or restore order in certain domestic situations. And this would allow him to treat all protests, civil disobedience, or even political gatherings as forms of insurrection. And that's how freedom of speech gets thoroughly and completely destroyed. He can also use it to suppress election-related activity. He can interfere with counting of votes or certification. He can justify martial law-style oversight of voting locations or ballot transport. He can also strip the government of anyone who opposes him. He can also arrest your elected leaders or community leaders, which he's already doing, and otherwise intimidate Congress, governors, state legislators, judges, journalists, or anyone else with power that he wants to assimilate, like the Borg in Star Trek, okay? He could even put newsrooms and everyone in them under surveillance. He could also, and this is really important, paralyze or override the courts, which would guarantee him complete, unchecked power over every form of government in this country and the lives of every single person in it. Now let's talk about what's actually happening in LA. Los Angeles is a beautiful, diverse, practically magical place. There are stereotypes that outsiders buy into, but they only happen in tiny little corners of the region that most of us never see. California on its own is the fifth largest economy in the world and in the most biodiverse state in the US. Most of us who live in California actually consider ourselves lucky. And to be clear, it is no less safe than any other place in America. So let me be clear now. Los Angeles is not on fire. With very few exceptions, these mass protests are peaceful. But every protest draws in agents of chaos who do destructive things for the sake of being destructive, but they do not represent the Angelinos who are protesting. The military was never needed. The only real purpose they serve is to further an agenda and to escalate, not de-escalate the situation. The president has the power to take over any state's National Guard with or without the support of the governor. And in this case, the governor, the mayor, and even local law enforcement are all against troops being deployed to LA, and that includes the hundreds of Marines that are about to be deployed as well. These Marines are going to be joining the National Guard troops that are already on the ground, who already don't have much to do. So what does this mean? Historians have warned us that on the road to the death of democracy, the military will probably be deployed within their own country. They also have warned that vulnerable and peaceful communities will be villainized to the point of dehumanization, deportation, or worse. Remember, the Nazis treated Jews like foreigners who were a threat to the way of life in Germany, okay? And they deported them out of the country and then led many of them to die on foreign soil in the most horrific of circumstances. This is no different. It's already happening. Now, I've said for a long while that I thought the deployment of the military against civilians on U.S. soil would be a sea change for everyday Americans who don't pay much attention to current affairs and aren't already concerned with the fate of our democracy. I might have been wrong. In fact, it's probably going to get a lot worse before enough people care to start trying to make it better. And this is really, really important. Our elected officials, the courts, and anyone else we think has power cannot fight this alone and win. We each step up or we all lose. Here's what you can do. First of all, don't hold back from being loud about this just because you don't know all the details. The details are moving. That's okay. Speak up anyway. Speak in unambiguous terms about how this is not only wrong, but part of a playbook to destroy democracy that would-be dictators have used for many, many years. Okay, and make sure that you say these things to, or at least in front of, people who you're not 100% certain already understand how bad this actually is. I also want you to show up. Don't let the fear of violence or arrest keep you from being seen as an opponent to all this. In fact, being scared is exactly why you should go, because part of the playbook is to intimidate you into letting it happen. I also want you to call your members of Congress, especially if they're Republicans. But even if your reps are all Democrats, make sure their phones ring off the hook anyway. Those calls help give them the ammo they need to take action. And when people say or post something about how bad it is in LA or how necessary it was to send in the military, never miss the opportunity to respond with this to their face and in their comments. Ready? This is incorrect, according to the governor, the mayor, and local law enforcement. I'm going to say that again. This is incorrect, according to the governor, the mayor, and local law enforcement. I'll put that text in the caption of this video so you can copy paste it into the notes on your phone because I want you to use it over and over again. Finally, do not look away. Do not allow your brain to normalize this. You should be shocked and angry, and you should stay shocked and angry. Take care of yourself, of course, but don't confuse that with unintentionally normalizing these insane, horrible, and dangerous actions the president is taking. If you have questions, put them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. And remember, democracy is fragile. If we want to keep it, we all have to actively protect it. There is no other choice. I'll see you on the front lines.